All right, so we're in a sprung timber wooden grandstand with about 8 rows of seating, 8 platforms there. They're not too far apart and they're not too high, but they are challenging. And down the middle is a staircase, if you like. So we start out by doing double foot bunny hops up the seating, up the bleachers there, and double foot bunny hops on the way back down. But the down hops are not as deep. They're only, I don't know, 6 inches, maybe 7 inches, not very deep. On the way up, they're not that deep either, but they're a little bit further apart. So you're forced to extend out a little bit more, and it's a little bit closer to a normal sprint acceleration position. Grandstand seating is approximately 45 degrees, maybe a little less, but it's, again, akin to your acceleration pattern in the early stages of acceleration. And obviously, this is a plyometric activity, so it's very explosive. There's a lot of impulse there, but there's rhythm there as well. And what we do is to progress the session from double foot, which is primarily for safety, which we do when we finished our warm-up as best we can. We'll go into double foot contacts, and then often I will load them up with a med ball, so that it'll take the arms out of the action a bit, and put more emphasis. And sometimes the med ball's out in front, and then other times we'll go overhead, again, challenging the organism. And the hopping up is really a concentric type of a muscle contraction, very powerful, very explosive. But I think arguably even more important is the hopping back down again. And initially, again, we will hop down on both double foot, and then we'll switch to 1 foot, and then we'll switch to the other foot. But hopping down is a little bit more dangerous because you're unstable and we're not used to it. Everyone's used to hopping forwards and upwards, but not many people hop down. Hopping down is an eccentric muscle contraction, and it's very powerful. And the reason I like all of this activity, is that, as Charlie Francis said again, millions of years ago, the ability to tolerate the shock of landing determines everything that follows in the stride cycle. So if you can't hit the deck and get off it quickly and with stability, you're going to have problems in the next stride, and it'll mitigate and migrate the further down the track you go, and you don't want that. So that's why I like the eccentric work, but I mix it up with the concentric, and I think it has a very good transfer to the track, especially for 100-meter guys. But I think if you want to run 4s, that's my primary interest. I've always said that speed reserve is the best form of endurance for, and if you want to have speed reserve, if you want to have speed endurance over the longer distance, you need to have speed at the shorter distance first off. Hence the old East German system of going short to long. In other words, short distances out to longer distances. And the East Germans would work, some of them would work on a series of moving lights around the track, and they would set the speed of the flashing light at the speed at which they want you to run. So in, say, for example, Marlies Gers early days, they would work at, and Marita Koch would work at world record speed from the first step. Ben Johnson, the same, world record speed from the first step, and then progress the distance over which you could hold that sort of turnover. But there's a lot more to it than that. But that's the idiot's